Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. It's ProBROknow.
You're pretty happy today.
Yes, animated.
It's because this topic is, I think it could be a good one.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see about that, Spence.
Yeah, we will.
So tell us what it is then.
So we're going to talk about retirement because Wade and I are not there yet, but we're approaching. And you have officially retired as of a few
More or
months
less.
ago. Yeah, kind of. And I know you still do
Partial
whatever.
retirement.
Partial retirement. Yeah.
Semi-retired. Yep.
But I just thought it might be a good topic to talk about different viewpoints, right? Because I know a lot of people talk about when you retire, if you don't keep busy and active, you just get old. And then
Yep.
a lot of people, after retiring, they die within, a few years because they just, they've got no purpose.
So why don't we just dive into that then?
Yeah, you want to dive in?
Well, I mean, typically we do dive in
We
before
can do
we
the whole
start talking
topic
about
before
it.
we even get started.
I didn't want to do a dive in.
You don't want to dive in? You just want to talk about it?
But I guess, hey guys, let's dive in.
Okay, diving in.
Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome, Spencer.
Why don't we talk about retirement today?
There you go. Wow, I wasn't even sure where you were going with that one.
Yeah, well, I figured,
So do you want to talk about like how some people, if they just they just die because they're bored, and is that what you want to talk about?
I've never heard that before, but where did you hear that?
No, sorry, deja vu, but I heard it like 2 minutes ago.
I just think it's interesting, right? I know obviously Chad's retired now. You and I are, approaching.
Working stiffs.
Yeah, we are working stiffs, but yeah, I think it's interesting, right? A lot of people talk about retirement and that, they weren't prepared for it, right? They weren't prepared for the immediate slowdown or shutdown.
Yeah, I've heard that for sure.
Yeah. And I think part of me understands that. I get a lot of emails every day. And as much as I can say, like, maybe I don't want to get that many emails, I think, when you go from that to then like no email and you're checking your phone, you're checking your mail account, like, well, no, there's no email there. Like, it must be kind of weird that.
It's bloody excellent. Actually,
yeah.
It is. Actually, not so much emails for me, but phone calls, because I had so many phone calls a day. I'm sure you do too. But with so many phone calls, you're just always, at least in my business, you're at that. It rings and you're like, oh God, who's not coming in? What didn't show up? Who broke something? What's the problem?
Yeah, the phone ring meant there's a problem.
What's the fire that I got to put out right now? So to go from, for me, let's say 40 phone calls a day on average, down to like 5 a week, it's pretty good.
But I think what you're getting at, Spence, if I'm guessing what you're getting at, it's not just the workload; it's the sense of purpose and importance. Like you're in a good position, you're in a leadership position, and I think what goes with that is some pride and responsibility. And then when that goes away, you kind of feel like, so what's my purpose now? Like, who am I now? What am I about?
I think a lot of people's identity is tied to their work.
For
right?
sure.
And
Very
so
true. For sure.
They see that as their identity. And I think once they retire, then I think some people struggle with what is my identity now? Like
I agree. Yeah.
Yep.
What am I going to do? Right. I personally don't think I'm going to have that problem. There's a lot of things that I still want to do in this life. I've always said I wanted to get my pilot's license. I've never done that yet. That's something I do want to do. And so, I don't know. I can think of a whole, list of laundry items that I'm looking forward to doing when I retire. I'm not going to be like that old guy sitting on the front porch, know. How do you do that again, Wade, with the rocking chair?
Hey, you kids. Rocking chair. Get off my lawn. That guy. Yeah. You're not. Yeah. I mean, there's an aspect of me that would just love to have that. I'm really looking forward to the not having a Sunday evening feeling. Right? The Sunday evening of tomorrow's Monday and this is my week looks like this.
Prep and you got to always start getting mentally prepared for everything that's got to happen that week.
And we've all had jobs that your job basically involves planning years ahead, right? Sometimes, and so looking forward to not having that Sunday feeling of tomorrow I have to get back to the work again. and just every day is kind of every day's a Friday.
holiday, yeah.
Every day's a Friday.
Well, so, as somebody who's been sort of living that since January, I wouldn't say every day is a holiday. I mean, for me, I still have lots of things to do. They're just different. And I'm doing things that I want to do instead of what I had to do. I guess that's probably the big difference. But I think
a
I've
huge
needed,
difference.
I've needed a purpose though. I've felt,
Yeah.
what am I going to work on today? I'm thinking, I'm going to go here. I'm going to do this. If I just sat there, I would be that guy in the chair. If I didn't have a plan, if I just got up and thought, well, I'll just read the paper and have a coffee and sit on the front porch, I think I wouldn't last that long because I would need to be busy and active and have some purpose.
But can you have some of those days of just doing nothing on the porch?
Yeah, I think the difference for me is maybe I will say to myself, well, I've got to go down and pack some orders today for boat and tackle. But I will say, you know what? I'm kind of enjoying just sitting here in my pajamas watching whatever. I'm going to just watch this repeat of Friends and then I'll go, or whatever it is. Because I have that flexibility of not having to be on that time clock.
You're on your time.
your
clock.
time.
Yeah. I think that's the difference, right? For me is just being able to decide if I want to dog it a little bit, or if I want to just go meet somebody and have lunch, I can just do it and I don't have to worry about what else is on the calendar. I think that freedom is probably the best part, but I still want to have lots to do.
Did that feel weird in the beginning, like not having the schedule and just?
Well, sure, because
did you find yourself having dinner and then I feel like I had to get back for something, but there's nothing to get back to, right? Like,
Missy would often say to me, what are you going to do today? I'm like,
Whatever I want.
yeah, I guess whatever I want is what I'm going to do today.
Yeah, I can't imagine doing nothing in retirement. And I think the key is doing stuff you want to do versus what you have to do.
That's absolutely it. Yeah.
Like I know this sounds probably out in left field, but I've thought about, I'd like to learn how to play the fiddle. I don't know why that is. I know that's funny.
Like a bluegrass star.
Well, no, but we're obviously musicians now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think I'd like to pick up a new instrument, whether that's guitar or something else. But violin or fiddle came to mind because it would be a nice fit for our current band to have a fiddle in there. And I thought, I should learn that. So I think when you're retired, you just have the time and the energy and the motivation to do that and not feel like
it's going to interrupt anything else.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It's like, well, is that a good way to spend my time? Because I have a lot of things I have to do versus I have nothing I have to do. So I'm just going to do what I want to do.
Yeah, your time is so limited when you're working. You've got other priorities. So
it is.
Your free time is, it's not, it's finite, right? You don't have.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not mandated. So you can decide what's going to be your free time or how you're going to rearrange your schedule as opposed to dealing with the demands of your job or something that specifically had a timeline.
Yeah, well, let's be honest. I mean, let's say you work Monday to Friday. Yep. Well, your weekends are spent doing all the things you couldn't get done through the week, like looking after the house or groceries or laundry and all that stuff. And then it's like, oh, I guess I'm starting back on Monday again. And you're just kind of doing the same thing. So I just look forward to not having that structure.
Rat race.
Yeah, I'll still want structure because I don't think I'll do well without structure. But it'll be my structure, not someone else's agenda.
It is crazy when you think about it. I think we all started working when we were probably 14.
Yeah, it was
15 for sure.
14,
right?
Somewhere in there.
14. Yep.
And so you're working 14 until 60. Like, I don't know what the average retirement age is. How old are you, Chad?
How many years is it? 58?
You're 58. So call it. Yeah. So 14 to 58. So like 44 years.
Yeah. Yep.
44 years of your life is spent working. And then you have from, call it 58 or 60 until, I don't know, 80s. So
hopefully.
You work for 20 or 44 and you don't work for like 20. Like
I know.
It seems kind of strange.
It's skewed, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's weird.
Oh, it's very skewed. Yeah. It is what we have to, it is what it is. Because you want the things you want in life. We could all choose different paths and not have the kind of income that we want or not have the possessions we want, but you want what you want.
Yeah, and I think even if you're retired, though, you still have goals and financial things that you want. You're just now budgeting those things and making decisions a little bit more in the future. You were saying about planning stuff, in a job, but a couple of years in advance. I mean, we want to go to Australia for our 30th. That's a year and a half away from now of when we can go because we just have to mentally plan and figure out how are we going to do this. You only have so much money. You're going to take this. What if we do this, but we don't do that? Maybe we'll just put off buying that extra car for a year so we can do whatever. You're still planning, and you have to have goals and purpose.
For sure. Yeah.
They're just different because you're realizing I've got a finite resource.
But I think those are all things that in the end benefit you. And I can't always say that work always benefits me, right? Like I'm
other than financial.
Well, yeah, I get paid, but you know what I mean? Like it's not, I don't know. If you're planning a trip to Australia, the ultimate benefit is you're going to Australia and you get to spend a vacation there. So, but work just feels like something you have to do in order to get the things you want later on in life. So I guess there is a benefit in the end, but the short-term benefit just seems like, what is it? I'm just working.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think the thing that you have to keep in mind though is like everyone looks forward to that vacation because your life is full of work duties, right? And so this is your break. True. And so that becomes what you look forward to, almost like a weekend. It's like you work Monday to Friday, and weekends feel so great because that's just something else that you've allocated to look forward to, right? Yeah, exactly. It's like a reward for working, right? So I think if you're not working, then I think maybe do they feel less important? Like, I don't know. But that's kind of a question for you. Like, do weekends feel the same as they felt before, or do you kind of be like,
So
it's
that's a good question.
That is kind of an interesting question. So I don't know if I can answer, do they feel different? But I will say that I've associated a little bit of guilt sometimes in my decisions of, I'm just not going to do whatever today, or I'm just, and sometimes I'm thinking about, going to the cottage or something. Oh, I can go on Friday and think, why couldn't I just go on?
I was just going to say, I could just go on Tuesday.
And that's what other people said to me. Well, why don't you just go on Tuesday or Wednesday? I'm like, I guess I can, but I haven't really got into that mindset yet of, I can just do that if I want to. I feel like I'm waiting for the weekend. Come on, weekend, so I can get to the cottage and go fishing. Well, but really, I could just go on a Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah,
because you've been programmed.
I was going to say, 44 years of programming. Yeah, exactly right.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is Chad McCone?
I know. That's the next question, right?
No, well, here's a question. Now that you have quasi-retired, do you feel like, you know what? I wish I would have done this sooner. Do you feel like maybe I wasn't ready? I should have maybe waited till I was 60. Like, how do you feel? Or do you feel like I did it at the right time?
So I absolutely feel I did it at the right time. I have no regrets at all. If I had stayed working for a couple more years, I could have put X amount more money in the bank and maybe had just that little bit more reassurance financially. But the money is not defining me. I want enough to be able to live and to do the things we want to do and travel and do some of those things. I'm not motivated by that extra 100,000 that could be in the bank or whatever. I'm thinking about, grandkids. I'm watching, you mentioned, Spence, about people dying. They retire and then they die shortly after and they didn't get to enjoy it. So many people get taken off the planet too early. I think I'm going to embrace this and enjoy it. So I absolutely feel like it was the right time. I don't want to sit around and do nothing, as I've indicated, which is why I still have a side hustle, and I will probably have that for a long time. Because I don't want to sit around and do nothing, but I like that I have the choice to do that if I want to do that. But no, it was the right time, 100%.
Yeah, I do find that really unfair I know people personally that have, like friends and family that they've retired and died way too early. And you just think that's so unfair. Like
they work so hard to get this, ideal retirement, and then you don't get to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfair, a lot unfair.
Yeah, so many. I mean, we all know people whose, dad retired or just passed or left too early. I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So if you can afford to do it, and that's a sliding scale for everybody. I mean, somebody's going to want to live a certain way. Somebody else needs to have something else to be considered, ready. I don't think you're ever ready. It's like having kids. You never think you have enough money to have kids. Everybody worries their entire adult life working. Am I going to have enough to retire? I mean, you and I have had that conversation many times, Wade.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm really promoting Freedom 95.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I feel confident at 95 you'll be retired.
Well, no, but it's a really good discussion because no one has a crystal ball, right? So you think, well, how much do I need to retire, and how long will I live after retirement? And no one knows the answer to that, and that's the real dilemma: is do I keep going till I'm 65 so that I can do more things in my retirement? But what if I die at 70? Then I could have retired earlier and I had more time to retire. Like you just don't know. Right?
Well,
so it is a balancing act, I think.
yeah. And the other thing for me was I'm an industrious person. Like you guys are entrepreneurial. So I knew that even though I'm going to retire a little earlier than I thought I was going to, if I ever feel the pinch that, I really wish I had a little bit more money, I can make money whenever I want. I can go do something. I could take a job for somebody. I could take a sales job. I could start an online business. There's so many things I could do.
Yeah, but do you
I
want-
felt the
but do
need
you
to.
still
Do you
wanna
want to do that once you've been out of the workforce?
Well,
I don't know.
Do you still want to sell your body at 80? Like,
I can tell you right now, I'm not making very much
He's
money
gonna be broke.
doing that. I'll definitely be broke. Welcome to the stage.
That's right.
No, but I mean, I have that ability. If I do ever panic, I can go out and make money if I want to.
Okay, so how
I
would
don't
you
think
how
I'm
would you
gonna
make
need to.
how would you, I'm being serious now. How would you make money?
I could take a job.
You know those Walmart greeters?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, if you
You just mean anything.
Home Depot. I can see a Home Depot.
Oh,
probably
100%
before
chat out.
Walmart.
100% chat out.
yeah,
Home
I mean,
Depot.
listen, Home Depot has tons of retired tradespersons that just know their industry,
Yeah.
and it gives them a chance to talk shop without having all the stresses of everything else. That's not really what I was thinking, but I mean, I could buy and sell things. I could, like I said, I could have an online store. I could open an Amazon store just selling whatever, just random products. I could go work for anybody behind a
Open
counter.
an Amazon store. You're going to compete with Bezos?
No,
like
no.
a drop shipping. I think he's talking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Any of those things. So I'm not worried about it right now. But if I need to, I know that I could.
Yeah, and that you're willing to work
Right.
if you need to.
So that was what made it not scary for me, because I knew that worst case scenario, I start to panic a little bit and I say, you know what, that's fine. I'll go make a few bucks.
Yeah. I know I don't want to work once I retire.
Yeah, you've said that a few times. You just want to be done.
Yeah, I think once you're done, like I get keeping yourself busy and doing stuff. I'm all for that. But if my life plan doesn't work out and then I retire and then I realize like, oh, shit, 10 years in, I'm not gonna have enough money to make it, and I've got to go be a greeter or get a job somewhere. Yeah, that's just. I do not want to
And
be
plus,
in that
how
position.
do you run a laptop when you got your hand on the tiller
Exactly.
on your 60-foot yacht, right? I mean, you're not gonna be able to run a laptop like that. What about you, Wade? What's your big plan when you're finally packing it in?
Sit on a rocking chair and yell at the kids.
Get off my lawn.
Hey, you
Get
crazy
off
kids.
my lawn. Wasn't for your meddling kids.
That's it.
Your kids like rib steak.
I want to be able to afford ribeyes, that's for sure. I'm a combination of things. I do want to do some traveling, but I don't care if I do a ton of traveling. Like I don't need to be jet setting all the time because I like to be at home and have my own space too.
Yep.
I just like the ability to do what I want. And if I want to work on a project of some kind in the backyard or whatever it is, redo a garden,
I was just thinking gardening.
yeah, make some garden boxes, whatever. I can do that because I don't have to worry about other stuff. But I just feel now because of work, and you said it earlier, you only have so much time when you're not working that you kind of cram all these things into it. Even on vacation, like you get 2 weeks vacation, but you're cramming in a bunch of stuff because you don't want to miss out on anything. And then you're done. You're like, I need a vacation from my vacation because I'm tired that I did all these things. So I just want to have the ability to relax when I want to relax, and then also, I don't know. I keep going back to that. I don't want to have that Sunday evening feeling anymore. Just you know what? I don't have to do anything. And you mentioned, Chad, feeling guilty about not doing something.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
And I'm like that too. I'm like that right now because I'm not a person that can just sit on the couch and do nothing all day. I feel unproductive and feel like I wasted my day. And maybe I'll feel very different in retirement.
Sometimes, sometimes it feels pretty good. I mean,
Well, yeah, and maybe
I did that.
Yeah.
I did that yesterday at the cottage. I really didn't have a purpose of everything I had to do.
Yeah.
Missy wasn't there. I sat out on the dock for a little while. I put on a TV show that was mindless, so I could just sit there and veg out to it.
Yep.
Sometimes feels good to not have to do anything.
Well, I'm looking forward to that because right now I can't do that because I feel like I've only got so much time off from work. I need to make the most of it.
Well, here's to all of us retiring and being able to head up to the cottage on a Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's what it is, right? It's if you're retired, well, when you're retired and you say to me, hey, we're planning this weekend in Chicago.
It won't be a weekend. We're planning this Tuesday.
Yeah, whatever. You're right.
Yeah.
We're planning a Tuesday, Wednesday in Chicago. It'll be so nice to go, yeah, we're in. Like let's because you have nothing to think about
Right.
oh, I might have a meeting that day where I'm going to be late in the city. Like it's just like, no, I can do whatever I want. That'd be
Yeah, I will say that the thing that I've had to be snapped into reality a couple times because I'll just be like, oh, you're talking about going on a Tuesday, and I'll call my friend Gary, who's retired fisherman, and saying, hey Gary, what are you doing on Tuesday? You want to go up to Stony, whatever. And if he can't go, suddenly I'm opening my phone book and going, oh, he's got a job. Yeah, he's not going to be able to do it.
Well, that's the thing. If it's
Because
not
I'm
the
just
weekend,
realizing, wow, I have this flexibility and nobody else does. Like you're trying to find somebody to go. It's like, oh,
it's kind of like
need a
winning a
re-
lottery.
yeah,
I
you
was
need
just
like
gonna
a,
say
you need
that,
a
yeah.
All
realtor.
your friends are working. They don't have the funds or the means.
I was
to
just
do
gonna
what
say
you
that.
do.
Right.
You quickly realize like I need to I don't have friends that can do this stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
it's so true. So that has been a bit of an eye opener.
Are you the first of your group that's retired? Like of your friends?
I guess so. Yeah.
Are
There's a
you?
couple.
Terry. Didn't Terry retire before you?
Yeah, he retired before me. Yes, but he's also a fair bit older than me too. Like of people my
Like Sly is just retired this year.
yeah,
I
he
think,
just
right?
retired this year. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think I don't know if he's a year younger than me or not sure.
I got to be honest though, the fact that we're even talking about this
I know.
blows my mind because I mean we've had these conversations.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm the age I'm at, so it's weird to me that we're now talking about what our retirement will look like, and it's not that far away. I mean, you're already there. It's not that far away for you and I.
Well,
Well, again, no, I said freedom 95. I'm already 89, so yeah, I've only got 6 years to go.
that's
So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long for you, Spence? What
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't want to be working past 60, I don't think.
I didn't think you'd be working past 55, to be honest with you.
I always used to say freedom 55, but then it kind of came back to a smack reality in my face that's like in a couple months. So I don't think I'm ready to retire yet. So, yeah.
Well, you're ready.
Well, yes and no. I don't know. Yeah. I want to be, when I retire, I want to be young enough that I can still do the things I want to do and, be, able to do the things I want to do. Like that's one thing I worry about with getting a big boat and a sailboat and sailing. As much as that sounds wonderful to me to be just on the boat,
Yeah.
if I do that too late in life, I just worry about, is that going to be hard,
It's true.
as a single-handed sailor to be, doing that by myself.
Well, hopefully you're in a financial position that you can afford somebody to sit there.
No, but
and
I don't want to
clean
crew.
it
I don't
and
want
get
to
it
crew.
ready
Oh,
for
cleaning,
you.
yeah, that,
You know, all that kind of stuff. All the stuff about a sailboat that we didn't enjoy.
Yeah, but we didn't enjoy it because we were rushing up there on a weekend to try to sail, and we only had so much time. If I'm retired, I can go up on a Thursday and clean the boat, or I could be living up there for months on a
You
time.
still don't want to clean
I
it.
was just going to say, I don't see him cleaning
No,
the boat.
honestly, I don't think I would have a problem doing that because if you're living on it, you're keeping it clean. You're doing a little bit every
I
day
guess so
rather than
you'd be living on it.
yeah. I would for sure. If I retire, I'd want to spend like the summer on the boat.
But you're right about all that stuff because even with traveling, do you want to work till 65 and then now you start traveling and you would be doing Europe? But
you need like a nap in the afternoon.
yeah,
I
but
know.
now you're
tired.
67 and you're like, I can't do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's.
I tell you, just being in New York last week as we were, my legs and knees felt like I was 90.
All the walking.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, well that's
so,
New York.
So
Yeah.
much walking. I was really shocked at how bad they were hurting by the end of it, to be honest. And I'm not even 60, so good thing
No,
I didn't
but
leave that till 65.
Sue and I went to New York years ago, and I remember the walking in that time was brutal. Like it's just a lot. You're walking everywhere. Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, I think this is a pretty good topic.
Yeah. What did we figure out? That I shouldn't feel guilt. I can go to a
Yeah, you
cottage.
should go to the cottage on a Tuesday for sure.
Go to a cottage on a Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Why
you
not?
should.
Yeah.
And I look forward to joining you
you should.
in the coming years.
I mean,
Me
on a
too.
Tuesday.
Me too.
just blow off a work day.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But
Oh, I have one last question though. Do you think you might wind down in retirement and maybe do like part-time work or a couple of days a week in retirement, or just the day you're done, you're done?
He's already said he doesn't want to work once he's retired.
No, but
no, wait, just talking about winding down. Like, do you
Yeah.
work, 4 days a week and you take an extra day off?
yeah, because I
could
just
maybe see that.
I
don't know.
just ran into an old He's one of Ali's dance friends. It's one of the fathers, and I haven't seen him for a few years. And he came to the house the other day, and I was talking to him. He said, "Oh, I am retiring, so I'm looking forward to that." And I said, "Oh," and he said, "Yeah, I'm down to 4 days a week right now, and then next month it'll be 3 days a week, and then I'll do a couple of days a week, and then I'll be done." So he's just kind of slowly winding down.
I think that's smart, because if
not the
if you don't
shock
start
of-
integrating that change, exactly. I've definitely heard that of people said, "Yeah, I don't know what to do with myself every day." I think you have to have a way to wind yourself down or slowly ease into your next hobby or the next thing that you're going to want to spend your time.
Yeah, I don't
doing.
want to be bored. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, maybe that's what I do. I don't know. I haven't really thought of that.
I've thought about working still part-time in my retirement, even for the same company I'm working for now, but just doing something this remote that I can do whenever I want to do. That might be no more than 10 hours a week, just to kind of stay.
Walmart
Keep
reader.
your mind.
Keep your mind active.
Sharp,
And just,
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important.
Anyway, thanks, man. That was a good topic.
Yeah, I guess the future will see what holds for you in retirement.
Looking forward to it.
Until 95.
95. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for the discussions
See you next time.
All right.
on ProBROknow.
Ciao.